All right, next up, we will hear from Rebecca Sgambati, and Rebecca will be introduced by Stephanie Patterson today.
Thank you, Brady. I'm pleased to introduce Rebecca Sgambati with Sgambati Painting Company. Sgambati Painting Company was started by Rebecca's husband, Dave, and has been in business for 35 plus years. Rebecca and her husband, Dave, and their two boys, Jasek and Jaden, two dogs, Kylie and Riley, and their cat, Jack, live in Walnut Creek and have been there for more than 11 years. Rebecca's background is in mechanical engineering, and she worked in the manufacturing industry for over 22 years as an engineer, manager, director, and executive. Rebecca and Dave also have a second family business, Peak Performance Float and Wellness Center, where they enjoy helping others with stress, pain, and insomnia relief. She enjoys hiking in the hills with friends, helping others, spending time with family, and most recently, learning karate. Her burning desire is to raise two healthy, happy boys. Please join me in welcoming Rebecca Sgambati.
All right, I was having some technical difficulties, so I just jumped over to a different computer. So bear with me here as I get my presentation up. All right, we can work through anything, right? All right. So we are good to go. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for that wonderful introduction. Today, here's the picture of our family and our furry pets, and here's the agenda. Some of these things I've covered before, but I figure it's always good to highlight again. My main focus will be going over different types of coatings and the pros and cons. And then I also have a few questions that people submitted, so we'll go through those as well. And this is just a quick summary of, our business and our insurances and all that jazz. You guys are familiar with that. You want to make sure every contractor has something like this so that they'll protect you when they're working at your location. These are our areas of expertise: commercial interior and exterior, residential interior and exterior, waterproofing, staining, power washing, epoxy floors, texturing, and minor drywall patching. Here's a few photos, and everybody loves those. This is a credit union that we did, exterior painting. And this is a big commercial warehouse in Benicia. And then this is a fun one. This is the Ultimate Field House over in Walnut Creek. We did a skills lab for them indoors, and then we also did some exterior painting. You can see Steph Curry, we love him, so we're happy to do that job. And then some exterior paint for some residential jobs. These are custom houses in Orinda. And then this is a modern house in Roundel Country Club in Alamo, where we did both the exterior and the interior for them. And then here's just a couple of other interiors, like comparing like residential and commercial. You can see they're pretty different. On the left, there's a residential job, very kind of different tones. And then on the right side, commercial location, interior. And then we get this question a lot: do we do kitchen cabinets? Yes, here's a kitchen cabinet job that we were working on. And this is another question that we get quite a bit: is what is your service area? And so we try to focus along the central Contra Costa, southern Solano County. And so we intentionally limit our service area to target traveling about 20 minutes from Walnut Creek maximum. We want to have our guys on the job doing work versus sitting in traffic. They enjoy that a whole bunch more. And so just visually here, I'll leave this up for a few seconds. These are the cities on the left side, yes, that we typically work in. And then on the right side, no, where we typically don't work in. And of course, every now and then there's an exception on the no list, but for the most part, we spend the time in those green areas. All right, now the meat of the presentation: types of coatings, pros and cons. So one of the most important things to remember is that you can paint any surface, but you have to use the right primer and the right product. So if you do not use the right primer and the right product, you will likely experience peeling and chipping, which will not look nice. So a couple different coatings for interiors, just to walk you through this. So people used to use flat paints a lot, but when you touch it, it leaves a mark. So not so common anymore. And they go up kind of in sheen from left to right. So flat is going to be the least sheen and semi-gloss is going to be the highest sheen. And so you're probably wondering, like, how do I decide what I want in my house? Well, the most important thing is for you to kind of look at it and decide in your lighting, how does it look? Is it too shiny to you, or is it just right? And then of course, factoring in how many kids and pets do you have that are going to be like touching the walls? So Typically, people stay away from semi-gloss. That used to be something that they used in bathrooms, kitchens, on doors and door trims. Now they're going with more of a satin. But remember, the higher you go up in sheen, the more durable it is. So just a couple factors to think about there. And then on exterior coatings, it's the same sheens as interior, but there's a big difference in durability when you go up in sheen. Less fading and it lasts longer. So that's just a couple highlights there. And then epoxy coatings are kind of interesting because they're actually two-part coatings where they have a catalyst and then tinted paint. Those are typically used on like garage floors or porches. And then elastomeric coatings, they're used for waterproofing and they're a much thicker coating. So you really want to make sure those are applied properly. And then concrete stains are very interesting versus paint. So a concrete stain actually penetrates the concrete, whereas a paint, if you painted concrete, it's eventually going to chip off, or you put an epoxy down, it's going to chip off and peel. So you want to make sure you use a concrete stain. And then for metal exterior surfaces, you really want to use a rust inhibitive paint. And if it's new metal, you want to make sure you use that red oxide primer. And then there's some really kind of cool coatings out there now you can use inside your house. There's dry eraser coatings to make your whiteboard. There's chalkboard paint, typically done in black, green, or gray. And then there's also, just kind of to think in another category, there's clear finishes that you might put over wood stained surfaces as well. So a couple of things about Sgambati Painting Company. Why are we different? We believe that our innovative process is faster. We brush and roll a lot more, which allows for easier touch up. We spray and back roll versus spray only. And then we do whatever it takes to make the customer happy. We use top of the line products. We finish jobs earlier on time. And each of our painters has over 15 years of experience. So that allows us to be more competitive. And a couple questions that people had submitted to me. So thank you. Expert painters what do expert painters do to extend the life of an exterior paint job? They use the best product of the chosen manufacturer with 2 coats and that'll hold up best. But how long will an exterior paint job typically last in our area? With 1 coat, it's 7 to 10 years. So you really don't need 2 coats because most people are going to change colors after 7 to 10 years. So you're kind of wasting your money if you use the 2 coats. So thank you guys for your friendship, support, sharing, collaboration, and your referrals. Oh, I forgot one more question. 2 more questions. Rhino Shield paint, very complicated paint that has a very complicated application process. We do not recommend this. So wouldn't recommend going by that. If you need information on how to recycle paint, let me know. I can give you that information. And big thank you to all these people for all your referrals. You guys are awesome. Love being part of this group. So thank you, thank you, thank you.